No, no. Well, better than Linkin Park. Not really though. sAviOr versus ZerO. First quarterfinals of the Lost Saga MSL continues. Group A, although I'm not really even thinking of them in groups anymore. Third set. ZerO doing a good job of taking the first one, and sAviOr completely catching ZerO off guard in the second set and crushing him there. So very good job. Even I didn't manage to read his build. I was like, the heck's going on? What the hell? And then I figured it out. sAviOr just got his early extractor, just mined his 100 gas, got his 12 patch, then very quick spawning pool extractor, mined his 100 gas, got his speed, produced a crap load of zerglings, and as soon as his speed was almost ready, he just pushed it. As soon as his speed was ready, pushed in, and completely took ZerO by surprise. It was went for a 12 pool into a hatchery build, trying to slowly tech up, and we're gonna see whether sAviOr has managed to reclaim the momentum that and kind of taken his own pace. We're gonna see. 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Man, I love StarCraft. Don't you? Fan screaming in the background. Always, that's funny. So, this is going to be Carthage, a zerg map. 11 o'clock in white, as of course a zerg is going to be ZerO. And at 5 o'clock in purple, or pink, whichever that is. I think it's pink, not sure. Is going to be sAviOr. 11 and 5 o'clock. So it's going to be this is a two-player map. Carthage, a very zerg-loving map. You know, zerg love this map. Although in ZVZ there's no such really advantage. That's just ZVZ. And we're just going to probably see the standard go. We're going to see where the sAviOr actually goes. Oop, one drone dance in there a little bit for him. sAviOr is actually going to, whether he is going to go for another 12th hatch build. One time didn't work too well. The second time worked very well. We're going to see whether he tries to play just standard ZVZ or going to try to surprise ZerO and take him off guard. Catch him up. Catch him napping. I look forward really to seeing what kind of builds. We're going to see also whether ZerO persists with his 12th pull. It did work for him one time, didn't work out the second time. He got caught completely off guard. That is, of course, one of the weaknesses of the 12th pull into a hatch. If you go for a standard 12th pull, you wouldn't really get in that trouble, but you went for a quick hatch after that. And that, of course, sometimes is needed as a zerg. You need that extra production, but he got caught completely with his pants down. And sAviOr proceeded to make him crap his pants. sAviOr apparently, okay, he is going to persist with the 12 hatch. This is very interesting. We're going to see whether ZerO goes for his usual 12 pool again. And no, ZerO actually apparently also going for 12 hatch. So we're going to see mirror builds this time, apparently. ZerO getting his drone stuck there for 1 second. And we're going to see 2 12 hatches this time. And so we're going to see macro builds from both players. sAviOr just being very persistent. He might have had this little technique where he's just going to go for a 12 hatch every time. He has specific ideas for this little 12 hatch, and ZerO actually also going for that route. So we're going to see economic builds from both players. Spawning pool now being put down by ZerO and sAviOr as well. sAviOr spawning pool just a little bit faster, also getting his extractor. So very interesting timing for both players. Also extractor from ZerO. So this time again probably simply just going to become another middle score. Although we're going to see whether sAviOr actually tries to pump a bunch of zerglings again and try to catch ZerO off guard. Don't quite think ZerO will be caught off guard. We're going to see this, of course, the early game is going to force ZerO on guard, and that's probably exactly what sAviOr wants. He's going to force ZerO to question himself. He's going to force ZerO to not know. He's going to force ZerO to be a little bit cautious, you know, possibly producing a little bit more zerglings, which he could be using for something else. And now ZerO is going to spot with that over. Both players are going to spot each other's 12 hatches. It's going to give him a pretty good idea of what to expect. sAviOr, okay, no, ZerO sending out some drones to mine off. Both players getting a bunch of gas, also getting their early layers, so we're not going to see full-on zerglings again from either player. I think, especially on the two-player map, that worked very well on the full-player map, but on a two-player map where the scouting was a little bit on the two-player map where the scouting is very direct and you just get the scouting and it can instantly spot, then both players are going to go standard, because if there's going to be any funky move by one of the players, the other player is going to be able to read it exactly and and get a counter to it. For Zerglings now out for ZerO. He's going to plant him on a bridge, not going to do much else with it. Going to see whether sAviOr's going to go for his own Zerglings. Has some Overlords now out, popping out on the way. Almost has his Spire up, and ZerO has some 6 Zerglings just running around, sending him around to scatter around, see what's up, spot any possible Zergling threat from sAviOr. sAviOr getting a very small amount of Zerglings so far, just 4 so far. If you micros them well enough, along with their drone, that should be enough to defend his base, but ZerO's actually not moving out at all. He's just keeping those in reserve, just ready. sAviOr getting some more Zerglings. ZVZ, interesting enough, in ZVZ, you know, you can point out their obvious strats, and then just huge-ass play-by-play. Now the Spire is going to be put up by sAviOr, and ZerO's going to spot the timing of that Spire. The drone just standing there being ready. Spire also just coming up for ZerO now. sAviOr's just slightly behind, but overall not going to affect the timing too much. sAviOr has a few more Zerglings now on the ground. We're going to see whether ZerO tries to let sAviOr's Zerglings run by and then run into his own base. sAviOr, you know, getting some own Zerglings into his natural just to guard the position. He's definitely wary of any sort of attack. And ZerO's actually also putting up a fairly decent sized Zergling army. sAviOr running around with his own Zerglings, just trying to spot any proxy hatches, because you never know, there could be some funky stuff on the way. Proxy hatches or just troops waiting to ambush him in case he goes for an all-in attack. sAviOr actually getting a rather large force of Zerglings. We're going to see whether he actually tries to push. He is just outside of ZerO's base. He has a small task force so far, just waiting for those guys to run in to help him out. Not quite sure whether their speed is up yet. Now, second extractor coming up from ZerO. I'm not quite sure if I saw sAviOr putting on a second extractor as well. A lot of troop movement